Formula 1 now turns to Austria, the home of Red Bull, which of course they brought their major upgrades for themselves. Red Bull of course are hoping for a good strong result here at their home Grand Prix, especially as all their major sponsors will be out in force, as it will be a good time for them to renew those sponsorship deals and hopefully to get more money to be able to produce more upgrades and to be able to be competitive in 2020. In comparison though, Red Bull need to raise some more funds if they really want to be competitive, and decided that they want to put Toro Rosso up for sale after having them for 13 years. Subsequently, this would mean the Italian outfit could potentially leave Faenza, as Red Bull would not hold the future. Unlike Minardi, Red Bull would not hold the future buyers to the position, with Leclerc also hoping for damage limitation, as Williams look fastest of all. So looking at the grids for today, and Sergio Perez for Williams, as he attempts to extend his championship advantage, he is in P1, Pete Harms alongside. Lewis Hamilton is P3, Nico Rosberg, his former teammate, starts down in P4. Pierre Gasly starts P5, good result for him. Stoffel Van Dorn showing the Red Bull's upgrades are working well. He starts his first Red Bull and in P6. Valtteri Bottas starts in P7. And Charles Leclerc was disappointed with P8. Hulkenberg starts 9th, disappointingly slower than Gasly, and Ricciardo impresses well and manages to get into the top 10. Pascal Wehrlein had a very good result. He starts P11. Sebastian Vettel starts 12th. For Mercedes, disappointing. Danny Kvyat, Kimi Raikkonen, both of them higher up than they usually are, as they're usually on the back row of the grid. However, there are other penalties in play today. George Russell starts 15th, with Max Verstappen 16th after a 5th-place penalty. Kevin Magnussen got a 10th-place penalty, as did Carlos Sainz, so both of them disappointed. They'll start 17th and 18th on the grid. Lots of work to do. And at the back, it's the two slowest of all, with Antonio Giovinazzi and Esteban Ocon starts last for today's Austrian Grand Prix. So hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Final Fantasy Formula 1. Apologies for the slight delay. This should have come out earlier in the week, but yes, I'm going to try and record a couple more episodes today, so that they should be out there later on in the week, and I'll try and get an F1 mod episode out as well. But here in Austria, recently turned to one of a strong circuit for me. Doing really well in previous games, and we're on the front row actually. Our teammate is down 17th with a penalty, although Magnussen really isn't going fast, and there might be trouble for him later on in the season should he not perform.
Right, let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
Thank you, Jeff. So, what's the race strategy? Is a one-stop ultra soft to soft tyres. So we get ready for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And it's actually, well, the initial getaway was okay. We matched Perez, and then the second phase we just bogged down. We'll take the inside line as usual and force Rosberg and Hamilton out. Hamilton has lost out big time there by the looks of the championship. Looks like Gasly was getting involved. Yes, he got hold up on the outside, and Gasly takes full advantage of Hamilton as Rosberg moves into P3. Behind us, moving later on that one, Hamilton loses even more places now behind his teammate Charles Leclerc, who is at the front of the World Championship, although Leclerc, of course, not having the best of times around Austria, and he'll have to finally gets his teammate into the second sector. Now I think it's Verstappen or Van Dorn. I think it might be Van Dorn who is chasing those two now. But behind us, of course, we've got Nico Rosberg, who goes past us into the hairpin up to turn 3, and there's not much we can do about it. The strength of the Audi engine is so great that I'm surprised he didn't manage to get the thing. And now we've got behind us, Leclerc is making strides. He's got Gasly in the Renault behind us. They've all got DRS on ourselves, but Leclerc does eventually actually get past Gasly up to the fake turn 2, up to turn 3. Although Gasly's going to have a look to the outside now, but these lots squabbling is allowing us to get there. Eventually Gasly loses out even to Van Dorn, with Hulkenberg now his teammate behind. So yes, although we know Van Dorn, you'll probably move behind things. So though the Super Ferraris then move ahead, move far ahead of everybody of the pack behind it, and Leclerc eventually gets back at Hamilton, and Leclerc now go side to side. So yes, moving back to our POV, lap 11 has been pretty much a very boring race, to be honest, as Rosberg comes into the pits now. It's interesting, Perez has already been in. Are they going for a 2-stop Williams? I mean, we've seen this before, definitely with Rosberg, where they've had to go for a 2-stop. We're going for a 1-stop today, as we're coming into the pits. None of the Ferraris are coming in, nor are the Red Bull or Van Dorn. So it's interesting. Perez sets a new fast lap 108, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to be going to the end of the Grand Prix with setting 108. As we move on to set soft tyres, 2.7. So that's pretty much normal for this series. With our Carlsberg BMW engineers, they're not the fastest in the world. They're not like the Red Bull ones and things. Giovinazzi, our former teammate, comes out from 2016. Yes, Giovinazzi, of course. I think he'll be wanting to move away from Alfa Romeo at the end of the season. I don't know, we might have a spot here. Carlsberg BMW, if he performs well, but we get DRS on him. To be fair, he's going to keep himself with us. We're going to have to defend here from Giovinazzi, but the aero, the Sashi package of the Alfa, they haven't done a bad job at Alfa Romeo, and they're the only junior team of the previous big three of Red Bull, Mercedes, and of course Ferrari that aren't actually up for sale, and they're actually making some progress in the midfield. Raikkonen's up in 9th. I mean, Giovinazzi is unfortunately fallen behind Hamilton now, but Alfa Romeo doing well. Hamilton now is going to have a go at us on the outside, but we had to head on the inside and do it. And Van Dorn has jumped Leclerc, so that's not very helpful. And I think Giovinazzi has got in front of Leclerc. We're watching coming up to Kimi Raikkonen now, the Iceman himself, who's up in P4. Lofty heights of P4. I don't think an Alfa Romeo has ever been this high since I was racing for them. But DRS on him, simple move down the inside and up into P4. Verstappen has come up on a set of super softs. He is up into P3. Sorry, Verstappen's still out on a set of super softs. It's Van Dorn he's gone past Hamilton, and Leclerc is going past Hamilton as well. I think yes. I think Hamilton got there. Both of them on the super softs though. Van Dorn now is on super softs, and he's got jumped both the Ferraris now. So Red Bull going very well for him. Although I think Van Dorn will have to stop again because he's only on the super softs, and I don't think they'll last to the end of the Grand Prix. Rosberg is definitely going to have to come into the pits again because he hasn't fitted another set tyres, and I don't think Sergio Perez, so the two Williams guys at the front, are yet to pit. We're going to the end of the Grand Prix, so they need to build another pit stop over us, otherwise it's not really going to work. And Rosberg is there getting held up behind one of the things, one of the Rosberg, got held up past one of the Force Ones. I think it was Russell, and we move up into P2 as Rosberg comes out, and Van Dorn is now under threat from Charles Leclerc. Leclerc will have DRS. They'll both have DRS. Leclerc with Van Dorn off the back of myself, and we go past Esteban Ocon. We've got Danny Kvyat now. We're coming into some backliners with 10 laps to go. Perez has come out. Unfortunately, Perez was so fast, he actually came out and managed to come out ahead of us when he made his pit stop. Oh my goodness, did the torpedo just take a swipe at us? I'm not too sure. As we're watching Antonio Giovinazzi, yellow flags, he's pulling over, and that is Giovinazzi unfortunately out the race. Big shame for the Alfa Romeo teams. They're going so well. I think they were on for at least 1 point, but yes, this wasn't to be, and they'll have to hope for another day, as Leclerc now is getting very close to us. Although he did drop back as we moved to the final lap of the Grand Prix. It hasn't been a very intriguing race. Of course, Part 9, as I've been saying the last couple of races, is the better one. I shall try and that will be my next upload, providing there isn't any F1 2019 game news or anything else. As Rosberg gets past Leclerc. Perez has won the Grand Prix by an absolutely country mile, and we are going to come home for P2. So not bad, making the one-stop work. P2, not bad.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And the engineers' excitement is about as fair as stale. So P1 for Perez, P2 for ourselves. Rosberg finished third. Hamilton got the jump on Leclerc in the end, and Van Dorn finished in 6th. Points for him, but I think he'll be disappointed that he made a manager. Gasly finished 7th. Verstappen came from 16th to 8th. Hülkenberg 9th. And Bottas for Mercedes gets the last point. So the top 10, our teammate Kevin Magnussen, not bad, but he was a long way behind. Raikkonen finished 12th, though I think Giovinazzi might have got 10th ahead of Bottas had he not failed to finish. Ricciardo outside the top 10, no points for him again. Vettel as well. Russell finished 15th, Sainz 16th, the Torpedo in 17th. And at the back it was Ocon and Verline. Disappointing for Verline considering the fact he started 11th, with Giovinazzi failing to finish. So that means that Perez now has a 7-point lead over Charles Leclerc in P2. Hamilton is in 3rd and ourselves in 4th, a 2-point gap over actually Bottas in P5. Vettel is in P6, Rosberg at P7, Gasly P8, Ricciardo and Verstappen 9th and 10th, Van Dorn 11th, and Hülkenberg rounds out the top 12 going into Hungary the next round. Moving to the constructors, Ferrari now have a 25-point. Sorry, is that 20? No, sorry, a 15-point lead. Excuse me, I can't do the maths. Over Williams. Mercedes are a long way behind in 3rd, sort of in no man's land, with the big fight for 4th place now going on between ourselves, Red Bull, Renault, and McLaren, with the backmarker challenge of Force 1 out from Toro Rosso. Both of them are yet to score, though. Hopefully Alfa Romeo should show the thing, and Force 1 might get lucky in a future race. You never know, because they've had a couple of 11th place finishes. So yes, that's going to be it for today's episode of Final Fantasy. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe channel for you to see more episodes of Final Fantasy. Episode 9 will be coming tomorrow, as it's Bank Holiday Monday, and be sure to go and check that out, because it is going to be an absolute... There will be scenes, trust me. It will be a lot more interesting than this episode 8 and episode 7 have been combined. So yes, that's going to be it. Hopefully you enjoy your rest of your day. If you're bank holiday. Enjoy bank holiday. If you're not, then enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.